Okay, so for you guys, Austin's out there somewhere, right?
Yeah, I'm out here.
So I don't have much content to talk about today. I talked about cloud stuff on Tuesday. I'm still in the process of let's see if this worked. Messing around with this OpenShift online. Aha. So this is actually kind of slick. So OpenShift Online, I talked about it a little bit last time, is basically a PaaS. So instead of software as a service, it's a platform as a service. So they let you spin up basically a whole bunch of different types of environments that you can run code within, and they're using.
Talk about the high tops, man. Those are awesome.
No. I like them. They're using Docker. Have you guys ever heard of Docker? So Docker is, and I'm definitely not an expert in this, but it's just interesting for people in the IT realm. So this is an open source deal where basically you can spin up these Docker containers that have all the services you want. It's kind of like a virtual machine with less overhead than a virtual machine. Docker.com, you can read about it. A lot of different sites let you, like Docker runs any app anywhere. These OpenShift uses Docker, a whole bunch of people do. Even VMware is going to start supporting Docker because it's taken off a ton. But the idea is if I want to create a PHP application, or I want to create a Microsoft's probably not as supported in it, a Java application, I can easily spin up the services I need to run that in the cloud. So what I was just doing, and actually I think I'm going to start it over so I can show you. So in a GitHub repository, I have a file. It's just an index.php file. It's just a hello world. And then,
how'd you think of that?
I don't know, it's revolutionary. So this is the one I made before this GitHub repository when we were talking about GitHub. So I could put code in here, I could edit it, I could connect it with the desktop deal and work on code and add more files, et cetera, et cetera. And then what I was just able to do, and I want to see if I can delete this and do it again, because I wanted to make sure it worked before I showed you, and it did work. Delete this application. So inside this OpenShift, so this is a Red Hat service. And this is not drastically unlike Amazon Web Services or Google App Engine. I found some pieces of this to seem to work pretty smoothly, and they have a reasonably good free account. So let's see if I can get a new tab going, because these do take a few seconds. Okay. So OpenShift helps you build and deploy web applications, mobile backends, service-oriented architectures, and host your favorite services. So it says, like, choose a web framework or code base to start from. JBoss, which I have no idea what that is, PHP, Python, Ruby, Node, JS, Drupal, WordPress. You can then add cartridges for databases like MySQL or MongoDB. You can upload your code to Orbital Shift via Git. So this is what
You mean OpenShift, not Orbital Shift?
Yeah, OpenShift. Did I accidentally say Orbital?
Orbital Shift.
Yeah, OpenShift. I'm just drawn to the name, I guess, so. So the first thing, you choose the type of application. So, they have obviously a lot. You can do Python, you can do Ruby, you can do Perl, all sorts of weird things. You can do a custom. You can build your own, kind of do it yourself. I did a PHP 5.4. So it's going to base on a PHP 5.4 cartridge. Lets me give it a name. So let's just call it PHP test. This is the default URL it gives me. It'll register this domain name. That's really misleading because the domain name is here. This is a subdomain and they can make as many of those as they want. So they're not registering anything, but now this is where I think this whole thing gets pretty slick. Optional UR to Git repository. I take the URL here to my GitHub. I put it in here. Everything else is the same. Not going to change anything. And I do create application. Now it takes a couple minutes. It's automatically going to pull in whatever code is in that GitHub repository and put it in here. And we'll see, assuming it works like the last time it did, that hello world will be in there. And then I can go, this is the part I haven't tested, but we'll test it in a second. I can go edit that code in GitHub and it'll automatically push it out to this and automatically update it, ready to rock right there, all seamlessly connected. Now that Cloud9 that I was showing last time, the online IDE, I haven't completely got it to work, but you can connect that to OpenShift. So this is kind of the same thing. You can edit your code there and it's all seamlessly. I mean, I don't know, maybe to you guys, some of this stuff doesn't seem that big of a deal, but coming from where I have in programming, when I started in 2000, like these things are, you know, when I used to want to create PHP, I had to like set up my own LAMP server and go through a whole bunch of junk to make it work. So now I have my site. Here's the URL. Boom. Hello world. Yeah, I know, right?
You didn't even make it like subscript or bold.
So now let's test this. I'm going to just edit it directly on here because I don't, the GitHub client's probably not on this machine. So let's edit this. Hello world. Deering CSCI 221. Let's see if this.
CSCI 221 bold. Do it. You can do it.
How's that? So commit directly. Now, the moment of truth. How do we make it update on here? That's the ticket.
Enable Jenkins.
Yeah, enable Jenkins.
It's okay. Every time I assign a task on the Taiga, I give them the Idacane or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know what it is, but it looks cool.
This is the part I did not test. You could do it. It's just may require a step that I'm missing. Yeah, which it must. Continuous integration. That's the enable Jenkins.
Jenkins.
No.
To build with Jenkins.
Because this doesn't actually need build.
Refresh, top right corner.
I just did that, yeah.
Is there something on the lens right there? On the right-hand corner of the screen?
Where?
See that colored spot?
Oh, yeah, right there. It looks like a hair or a little dust ball.
AIDS.
Well, I'll figure this out for by next week. I don't want to waste a ton of time messing with it right now. I know it does that. Like obviously it already did it once, but now you can pretty easily add cartridges in here for, so php.test, and I did test this, like add a MySQL database. You can add that cartridge in here. Now I'd have access to a MySQL database inside of this container. You can add a lot of tools. You can add the PHP MyAdmin tool for editing databases. So this is interesting. If you wanted to try this to host your PHP, you could. I'd probably be better equipped to help you once I get it working. But if you have a solution worked out.
Once I know how it works, then I'll help you.
So now here's a database. Here's the users. I could connect to that with my code just like we did in databases. Have all my code in GitHub, so it's all like nice and seamless. Now just assuming I could get this to update. So here's that PHP my admin. Has any of you guys ever used that? Probably not. It's a database administration tool. It's a web-based, like that SQL Management Studio we were using for MySQL. It's pretty nice. You can create tables and do all the stuff through a web interface, which is pretty useful. So tonight's do your UI mockups, right?
Mine's on GitHub. Is that okay? Or do you-
I got those screenshots.
Can you snap some screenshots and stick them in Taiga just so I can
sure.
look at it easy?
Yeah.
Mine be done good enough?
No, you have to redo it.
Put some screenshots in Taiga.
Actually, I uploaded the
Oh.
database, PHP, everything up.
Okay. So the concern moving forward now, we have 3 weeks plus another partial week to do sprints and prototypes. So you should also cultivate your backlog with what you think you're going to do in the next week. Now, I wish more people were here so I could talk to them, but Tom, you're set. Austin, you're set. Java, like you got a platform to develop on. You're
I just
good.
gotta get my data.
You're set-ish,
Getting there, yeah.
getting there. I mean, you can work locally, and I'm actually.
That's what I've been doing.
I'd like it if we could put it up somewhere. If we can't, you
Well,
can
like I
work
said,
locally.
I have a host for it. I'm building it locally and making sure it actually works. I'm trying to get all that stuff done.
Okay.
I am trying to figure out the database on it, which I've got a tutorial I've been watching. on
Okay.
that. And besides that, I just got to figure out why I can't
Right.
access the server right now.
Okay.
So I'll have to.
So you 3 are close to set. Damon's set.
Damon's more than set.
Yeah, I just talked to him outside. Damon's good. Chris, and if anybody watches the YouTube video and I'm wrong, because some of you I never see or talk to because you're online, correct me. But as far as I can tell, I think Chris is good. He's doing a standalone app. Amber, I need to talk to.
She wasn't this morning.
Amber, if you are listening or do listen later, we can talk next week, but if you want to work over the weekend, my intent is to have you mostly work on static pages. Just work within NetBeans. Be concerned more with user interface screens and less concerned with database and all that for now.
We had 2 viewers for a second. I'm like, oh, it's just him talking.
So that's 6, right?
Dan Banks.
Yeah.
I know he's pretty well in because he's continued what he started. From
Yeah. So Dan, keep working on what you're doing. We can talk about hosting if you want to. He's doing PHP, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever Travis and I work out, we can maybe do the same. And like I said, I'm not as set on that as I was earlier. Like I said on Tuesday, it's the process, and I think we're doing a good job of learning all these steps and tools. Yeah, she needs to talk to me. Who else? I thought there's 10 of us. Oh,
Look at the
Stan's good. He's set.
Go to participants.
Oh, Aaron.
We always forget about it.
Aaron, I know what you're creating. I don't know what you're creating it in, so we should talk. But
Yeah, Aaron. Take off your sunglasses for a second.
for those of you that didn't have databases, Travis, you being included, I'd love if you could pick some of it up and do it, but if you can't, work around it.
Are you teaching?
But I think you have the ability to do it. So
Oh, I'll figure it out.
for Aaron
It might
and
be in during the summer, but I'll
yeah,
figure it out.
for Aaron and whoever else, like this isn't database class. You can't learn databases. So if it ends up being that you're creating HTML5 pages that don't connect to the database and you fake that it's connected to the database, for the scope of this class, that's fine. So
Are you teaching databases next semester? Do you know yet?
I don't know yet. I should find out soon.
I'm gonna have to take it. I mean,
Yeah.
I need your soothing voice again.
Yeah.
Like-
I'm gonna miss it. There's
So-
a YouTube channel, right? I could just.
yeah, it's like we're just gonna loop the YouTube channel over and over again so we can listen to your voice.
Right.
I'm telling you, you could be like millions of views. Just story time with Mr. Landry. Just sit there and read Dr. Seuss books, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I should do it. So if you're on the YouTubes and you need help,
On the YouTubes.
email me. I'll be available all weekend. Oh, there's 2 viewers on there. I wish I could know who was on here. This annoys me.
Hi, viewers.
Yeah, hi viewers that may be like 10 minutes behind where we're at, but
Whoa.
how do I ask your audience? Audience, please submit a question. So one other thing for everybody, my preference would be as if you try to continue and use GitHub.
GitHub?
Yes, for your code.
Put it up
Has
there.
anyone used GitHub?
I mean, my
Is that
stuff's
homework?
up there. I mean,
Try to put it up there, and then when you make edits, do commits, just try to work on the steps.
So you can look at it.
No, well, I mean, yeah, I guess, but just, it's good practice. And the only way you'll learn to use it is by practicing to use it. But plus, then if you screw something up, you can go back. I mean, sometimes that happens. You work for 3 hours and you're like, I completely hose this thing and I have nothing to go back to. So, Control Z only goes so far.
yeah, and depending on the IDE you're using, it's usually about 30 back, which
Yeah.
isn't actually that much.
So, I mean, that's a reason enough to use GitHub in and of itself. Hold on, I got an email from Amber. Make sure this isn't something I should address.
Maybe she's the one that keeps dropping in and out. Somebody keeps.
Okay, Amber, I got your email. You're in NetBeans. So basically what I'm suggesting, and it's not for what's due today, it's for like your first sprint. You can continue to write PHP, but if you want to just do regular HTML pages, I don't know if you took database design, but just your standard HTML code, you can do so. And we can talk more of that, about that through email or otherwise. We've lost a viewer.
And then
Right,
you're
you're
back.
on and off, on and off.
Yeah, somebody's having connection issues.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to sign off on the YouTube. Just email me if you have questions. Let's try to get a good. That first sprint ends next Thursday. It starts tomorrow. So you probably want to try to do something this weekend, right? Like, unless you're Tom and you're a great overachiever. So,
My birthday's on Wednesday.
and I'd love,
My
awesome.
birthday's on Saturday.
I'd love to do whatever I can to help, of course, within reason. So-
Will you write this for me?
Farewell.
Here, I need you to write all